Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic. How about you?
I'm great, thanks. Great day, hanging out with my son this morning. All is good.
Man, I'm glad you said that because that's one of the things that I never got to hear from my father. Man, I'm hanging out with my son, and I always get so jealous of people like yourself that you don't hide behind that. I was with my son today.
Oh, I love it. It's my favorite thing. If I could just do that 24/7, I genuinely would. Unfortunately, he and I get a lot of time together, but it's still not enough.
Right. Any music that has been created between the two of you?
A bit, actually. We one of the songs on our new album was kind of inspired by him because our guitarist Kevin started entertaining him when we were in the studio. And then in the meantime, he and I sit down at the piano or the drums pretty much every day.
Wow.
And he's already singing. He just turned 3 about a month ago, and he's already singing. You know, he speaks more like a 6 to 8 year old. So he's singing, humming words. So I'm keeping a catalog of his phrases, nice. And then I'm recording the melodies as well. And I figured when we dig back in for another round of songwriting, I'm going to start pulling from those and see what I can get.
Dude, that is so important for family history as well because, I had a cassette recorder with me pretty much all my entire life. And to go back and listen to stuff that I was doing back in 76, it's priceless. Because it's you can't go back there and do it again, but you've got it. You captured the moment.
Yes, it's true. And honestly, the hard part has been cataloging it all. But I've gotten a good rhythm now, and I actually went and spent some dough and got a nice server for home. So everything goes on there every month. I put the month's worth of material, catalog it. Because I'm like going through my old photos and it's scattered. My parents were divorced, and my wife's parent, Brina's parents, just passed away within the last year, both of them, and so she's been actually taking the last month and going through the photo albums and reorganizing for our son Julian so that he has a bit of a keepsake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just did a feature on iHeartRadio that was based on how we grew up with all these photographs. But what about all of these selfies that we're taking right now? When we pass, who gets the photo? Who gets the photographs? Will they even know to go to the telephone?
Dude, it's funny you say that because my wife and I were talking about that. We actually download them all at the end of every month.
Great.
And I have 2 folders. I have just the general folder with everything for photos, let's say, and then there's the favorites folder because it's the only way. I can't do any more than that. I can't go person by person, place by place. It's just like, are you an average photo or are you a special one?
Hey, the way that you write music, would you not call yourself a historian in the way that what you write about and how you bring it together, you're preserving it for a future listener?
I would. For me, I am. If anything, it's like a personal history, personal diary, and it's something that I wish I had for my ancestors, that I could go back and see what they were thinking and see what they were interested in, because if anything, that I might be able to find something, a trace I could trace in my own history, a line through me, and maybe foretell the future a little bit.
Yeah. The guitar riff, man. I'll tell you what. The future wants to know how you came up with that guitar riff. Did it come to you in a dream, or what were you doing?
It came actually just out of the blue.
Wow.
It's one of those things where you're just noodling around and you're sitting in front of the TV to just trying to keep your hands, in some degree of efficiency. And it popped out, and I took it to the band, and I think we may have refined it. I think it was longer, if I remember. Originally, it was a little bit longer. No, actually, that's a different song. No, it was What It Is. I just changed the tuning on Kevin's suggestion, but no, that's what it was, and everyone dug it, and
Yeah, and the way that I understood it was that the drummer came in and then added that beat to it, and all of a sudden it was like, whoa, now this song has opened itself up.
Yeah, it was more than just the beat. It was his intensity and the energy, and the confidence. He's a very he's a very, I don't want to say commanding drummer, but he has a strong sense of what he wants to play and how he's going to play it. And he really, as much as he's spontaneous, he also takes a moment to deliberate, contemplate what it is he's trying to do from his perspective of the song, and also from the band's perspective. And that's sort of lends itself to the rest of the band feeling very, very good about what they're working with from the drumming end of things, because it's confident.
You know what? There's a couple of places inside this song that I would love to see live, only because what happens is the instrumentation kind of quiets down. Those drums are still going, and I just envision that live audience singing right along with you, and they're going to be right there in that moment, and of course you're going to pull off their energy.
Oh, are you kidding? That's like, it's like probably the great, I'm not a drug guy, but it's probably the greatest drug on earth. I remember seeing a video with The Edge from U2 being interviewed a while back, and he took someone from the press on stage before their show, like shortly before their show, and that person from the press got a taste of the audience roaring as Edge walked out onto the stage a little early, and she was blown away. And so, having done that many times, in front of 3,000, 5,000, people, that's enough for me. I mean, if we get more, great, but it's amazing.
But it takes so much courage to walk out on that stage, because you know what happens? I mean, we're all humans. One little slight mistake, they probably won't hear it, but you won't forget it.
You learn to let go of that, and the sooner you learn, the better.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember one time seeing an interview with REM, and they were talking about walking off stage, and they were looking at each other going, "Hey, did you make a mistake?" No. All four of them, like, "I didn't make a mistake tonight." Wow, that's remarkable. We've been out for 2 years straight, and that's the first night. So you're always going to make little mistakes, and it's not even just the mistakes you make. It's just things will go, the unexpected will always happen, and really the beauty is that, and it's running with that, because it's kind of fun, when things get a little funkier. We did a show at the Whiskey not long ago, and I did something where I knocked over Adam, our bass player's mic, just turning, because it was a it's a smaller stage, and and he didn't notice it, that I almost tripped then and fell off the stage. Wow. and he didn't see why everyone was concerned, and he's laughing at me, and it was it's just one of those things. It was a funny moment, but anyway.
The song "Tell Me This" is 2 minutes and 59 seconds. As a radio guy and somebody who was in the music department, dude, that charges me up. But at the same time, it charges me up as a listener, because it makes me want to hit repeat and listen to it again.
Oh, I like hearing that. Can you just say that again? I want to hear that repeated. It is nice that it's short, though. I agree with you, and that's one of the reasons it's the first song, because we actually have a lot of long songs, like 4 or 5 minute songs on this album.
But still, even at 4 and 5 minutes, I can handle that. What happens is when I go to a concert and it's going 9 and 10 minutes, that I'm sitting there going, "Oh, come on."
It's funny you said that, because I'm not a big fan of that either. I don't mind when artists take different paths to express a song, just do it in a different way, different production. Break it down if it's a rocking song. Maybe build it up if it's generally a more quiet song. That's fine. But when they when they stretch a 3-minute song into an 8-10 minute song, I'm sitting there, I'm going, "Where's the beer concession stand?"
Hey, have you hit that search engine on Spotify to see how much Spotify loves you guys?
No.
Oh, you got to do it. You got to see where you show up at, man. Because I love it when bands do that, because I'm so interested in Spotify and even iHeart being it's the world's largest record stores. It's all there. We've just got to be led there.
Yeah, it's true, and that's exactly it. You need to lead people there, and I must say that we've I don't want to say shied away from Spotify. Until the last month or so, we have done almost no promotions on Spotify. Wow. And we were just sort of letting everything go or grow, I should say, organically. Yep. And finally we had to give in and start doing a lot of promotions, and it's paid many dividends, in the sense that our listenership is up about 10,000%, and it's trending upward from there. So it's a matter of leading people to your music, because there's so much out there. You can easily get lost, even if you're the biggest act in the world. It's just part of the game, but it's also fun too.
Well, the way that you guys run your Facebook page, I'm shocked that you guys don't go over to Spotify. They have a thing that's it's called Anchor.fm, and it's absolutely free. Everything on it is free, and you guys, everything that you're doing on Facebook, you could put up there and just name it a podcast, and you just share the journey.
Wait, say that again.
It's called Anchor.fm.
Do you mean like actually podcasting the little 1 and 2 minute videos?
Absolutely, yeah, because people dig that, because you got to be like me. You love the reels. You like going to and watching the short little videos. Well, why not do it when you can? And you can even put those videos on this Anchor.fm. They allow you to put the videos up there. And it's a free platform.
Because it's funny you said that, because we've been now putting some of the clips up on clips of Spotify, so it's right on your page. But I wasn't aware of this ability to. I mean, I knew they had podcasting, but I hadn't really thought. You think they would go well, huh?
I do think that, because what they do, there's so many different platforms that they're connected to. So what happens is you post it, and then all of a sudden they spread the word out for you, and it's like they're working for you.
Right. That's, you know what? I'm going to try this out. So again, even 30, 60-second, 2-minute clips, put them on there?
Yep. My biggest podcast actually was 1 minute long, and it was because I had Sammy Hagar apologize to Eddie Van Halen.
David Lee Roth?
I wish. I would love to have that conversation. Oh, my God.
Sorry, I had to interrupt you there. That was the first thought. Although it really should be the other way around. It should be David Lee Roth apologizing.
That's the truth. So now, to put together a full album, I mean, this is the first in a long time here. I mean, what was that like? Did you go in there and say, okay, we're going to do like 18 songs, but only 10 of them are going to make it?
Well, generally that's what happens. You start out with a greater handful of songs than you end up with. In this case, so we actually set out to do an EP of 4 to 6 songs.
Okay.
And once we dug in, we're like, we have about 14, 15 songs. and like, let's just cut all of them and we'll narrow it down. And then we said, well, you know what? We have 8 here. And then we thought, no, we have 10. So we landed on 10.
Wow.
And the reality is we've been wanting to do an LP for a while, and it was something that it's more challenging. It takes more time, and it's not just double the amount of time. Let's say doing 10 songs versus 5. It's probably like 5 times harder. And but we pulled it off, and we're really happy about it, because we think the time is right for that. Not only for us as a band, but also for audiences in general. People seem to be yearning more for longer format stuff.
Yeah.
At least if the people who are genuinely interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm also noticing is that people aren't doing the iPod kind of listening where they put it on shuffle, and they want one band, one sound. Give me that full album right now. I don't want it to be interrupted by somebody else.
That's going back to what I was saying. That's what we're experiencing too. That's what we are even personally experiencing. All of us listening to the albums. My son, our 3-year-old son, we have a vinyl player we just got over Christmas, and we've been spinning some old vinyl records, we got from our parents and the likes of that. Bought a bunch of new ones.
Nice.
And he really digs it. He knows how to operate it. He'll be like, Papa, can we play? Lately, he's been into U2's Zooropa album, so we keep spinning Zooropa, and I said, you want to hear something else? He goes, no, I just want to hear Zooropa. I'm like, okay, there we go.
Yep. Yeah. To me, and then then you start listening to your favorite album cuts. I mean, that's like when I listen to Fleetwood Mac. Okay, I get it, Dreams and Go Your Own Way, but man, those deep cuts. That's what made the album.
Absolutely. You know why? Because the hits in many ways, they're like the candy. Now, I don't mean candy in a pop sense, but those are the ones that really catch you first, the sweet stuff. And they are usually the better songs in some sense. But they really then draw you, and they take you to the songs that are, as we would call them, the deeper cuts.
Yep.
And those songs, they also have their own character to them. They have their own energy that the artist was trying to express. That sometimes those songs are more challenging, and that's why they're not the hits. But they also, in being more challenging, they have more depth to them. Be it the lyric, the rhythm, the melodies, all the above, the production, and so once you get past the first ones, if you get to the second round, you can really go deep with someone. With the songs. It's like a love. You meet them at first, you have a nice, good conversation, maybe a little bit more, and then if you really want to go somewhere, though, you got to spend some time together.
Yeah, I got to give you kudos on the production of this song. Tell Me This. It's not overcompressed. I mean, I literally can hear the instruments. I love the way the vocals fit right in there. Everything is so measured out.
Well, I got to tell you something on that one. That is, first of all, I'm going to tell Brina, my wife, our engineer and keyboardist. She'll love to hear that, because today we're actually going to a mastering session to get the rest of the album remastered, or to get a second round of mastering, because the original masters she was not happy with.
Yeah.
And they were just a little too compressed, and so we did a few new masters, including with Tell Me This, and very happy with them. Not too compressed, and really, actually, no compression at all, other than the mixing compression, and it's nice. It breathes. Yeah. God, when they slam stuff these days, you just it's like, nails on chalkboard.
Yeah, especially if I'm driving in the car and it's over compressed, all of a sudden I feel like the pressure's on me. You just feel it.
Dude, that is a great way to put it. Seriously, it is the pressure. It's too intense. It's like someone getting in your face, to have a simple conversation, and everyone's trying too hard. No, it's like it used to be. If you wanted it louder, you just turned it up a notch. I mean, think about it. That's all I want it louder. I'll just turn it up a little bit. And if you don't want it, you keep it down, and it doesn't have to be, in your face when it's quiet.
Right. Yeah, because I think we're all starting to wake up again when it comes to musicians. It doesn't have to be this EDM beat that's all, pre-done inside the studio and stuff. I mean, there's real music now, and it's available, and people are finally starting to discover it.
They are at all ages too, and of all likes. It's really nice too. It's not only is it good timing for us, it's also reassuring because you start to think maybe out there alone and losing your mind. When you're doing something that's not lost, but it's a little out of step with the mainstream.
There was a term that was used inside the description of the band that really woke me up. It was classic alternative rock, and I thought, oh my God, they just got married, because there's always been that competition between classic rock and alternative rock.
Right. It's true, actually. It's funny. So it's a new term to me as well. And the other one we've heard is neoclassic rock.
Yes.
And it's actually it's a genre now. Those are both genres. And at first I was like, and then I was like, no, that makes perfectly good sense, because we are borrowing a lot, not as much as other artists, but you can clearly hear our lineage, if you may.
Yeah. So where can people go to find out more about you guys? Because you've got to be setting something up, especially when it comes to merchandise.
Yeah, the best thing to do is to Google us, or search us, I should say. Just search Sons of Silver, and you'll find everything you need to know as far as where you want to go. From our website, which is sonsofsilver.com, and then we have our store on there, to our link to Spotify, Apple Music, our socials, Facebook, Instagram likes. We're most active on Facebook. That's our bread and butter for social networks, and and that, and our website I'd recommend there, or Spotify and Apple Music, or Amazon Tidal, YouTube. We're very active on YouTube as well. Those are our faves. Can't do it all.
Well, once again, I'm very inspired by the way that you leave those little notes to the viewers and the followers, because that's so important to a fan, that you feel like, oh my God, they're talking to me. I wish Kiss would have done that to me in '77. Leave me a little note like that.
Dude, I really appreciate that, because honestly, it's hard. It's not something that I really grew up with either, and excuse me, and I don't want to, it's like this. You don't want to give away too much, but you do want to give the audience something. So gauging what that is and finding yourself and your voice is a difficult thing, and it's not as challenging when you're doing it by yourself. Like if I was a solo artist, I'd just do whatever I want. I wouldn't have to think about anyone else. But as a band, I got to measure it, because, for instance, I may not want to do something, even if it's just me posting video, that might bother someone else in the band. Yeah. So it's getting used to that routine. For instance, I just put one up today on Instagram that Marc, our drummer, his mom was blowing up his phone when we were rehearsing the other day, and she had just listened to Tell Me This for the first time. She's in Long Island. She heard it on the radio on the Shark 94.3 out there, and he gets this message while we're in rehearsal, and so I was like, you need to post that. He didn't want to post it, so we posted it on ourselves on the Sons of Silver socials, and everyone's like, dude, that's so cool, and so it's getting feedback like this really helps.
Well, one of the things, and I think the connection that I had with the Facebook page was, I've been living off this mantra for the past 3 weeks, where I asked myself in my daily writing, I said, are people happy to see you? And I said no, and I asked the question, why not? I said, because people want to be recognized. They want me to recognize them, and that's what you do on this, is that you recognize that I'm here, and I'm going, oh my God, that's exactly it. That is the missing connection.
You know what? That's actually that's a great way to look at it. And I'm going to take that a step further. with some of our comments and stuff and start replying, not just in text, but also in video or audio and video to those. That's a really good point. Really good point.
Well, dude, you've got to come back to this show anytime in the future. You know the door is always going to be open for you.
Dude, I would love to. We got a whole slew of singles coming out before the album and then the album. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's make it out. We'll break down the lyrics and you can share the story.
I'd love that. Anytime. Yeah, I'll let Dana know. Well, thank you, Arrow. Thanks for having me, man.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
You too.